Okay.
Well,
Where do you say you
that
live?
helps. Yeah. In Neukölln.
No, I couldn't. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And
really glitchy, huh? Strange. I wonder why. Yeah.
how
I
long
don't
have you
use Zoom very often. I usually
been
use Skype. So, how long have I lived in Neukölln?
in Berlin, in German?
In Berlin. I guess I started coming in 2012,
Okay.
but I was going back and forth between Brooklyn and Berlin quite often. So
Okay.
13, 14. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I went through your website yesterday and videos on YouTube and listened to your music, and I really liked it.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
And you
Thanks.
are from Baltimore.
Yes.
Wow. I think you're the first guy I meet from Baltimore. You probably hear that a
Okay.
lot. By The Wire is like I just finished watching it for the third time, the whole series.
Oh, wow.
Just
Okay.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty intense series.
But
Yeah.
it's just, it's just so good. So much better
Yeah.
than anything else on TV still for me.
Right. Still, wow. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting place. There are a lot of interesting people. Uh, yeah.
So you were born there and grew up there, and then you moved to New York at
You
some
know,
like.
that right. I went to college. Started coming to Berlin.
Oh, I can't hear you really well. I don't know.
Really?
Let me see.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of delay. Also, it's very
Let,
strange.
let me see. Maybe I can
Is there
close some stuff here. Um, just a second.
show chat? Show manage? I'm
Maybe it's
wondering.
this thing.
Hello? Yeah, it's saying it's getting me.
Now it's better. I think it was something on my computer. Another, like, I don't know, some video streaming device for something for the kids for school. I think
Right,
it's gonna
yeah.
be
The more
better.
stuff open, it
Yeah, yeah.
seems like things get
Yeah, now it's
worse.
better. Now it's better.
It's better now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's much better now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, on my side too, because everything was getting delayed
No,
before
no,
all.
no. It was, yeah, it was my side.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, what made you come to Berlin, move here?
Well, I was living with my wife in Brooklyn, and my kids were born in Brooklyn, and it was just really intense having a young family, being a freelance musician. Both of us are freelance musicians, and yeah, it was a lot living in Brooklyn, and I was working all the time, but I felt like I could never work enough. And
My brother is a jazz musician. He's living in Brooklyn now. Yeah,
oh wow,
yeah. He's
cool.
24, so it's a little bit different. But yeah,
Right. What's his name?
Alexander Levine. He's
Okay.
uh, he's, uh, he's with Omer Avital's band, if you know him.
Oh,
Probably.
great.
Yeah, some
Cool.
saxophone player. Yeah.
Ah, wow. Cool. Yeah, I mean, New York is great. I mean, New York is always there, and it's kind of still the center of jazz in the world. Um, but things have changed a little bit in that you don't need to live there. I don't feel like, as long as you still can kind of keep a presence
Yeah.
there. It's, you know, and honestly, most of the bands I work with are New York bands
Yeah.
anyway. I'm here,
You
so
still go a lot to perform there?
I
Or?
don't I don't go that much there, but they're always coming to Europe, and
Yeah.
they know me here, and so it works out well for me. Uh, and I don't know, it's just a little bit better quality of life here. Actually, a lot better quality of
Yeah.
life, and I feel like I have a little more space, both physically and more mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
No.
can choose what I want to do a little bit more. It's not just go, 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 go.
Yeah. And how did the corona catch you?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I have to say this spring was going to be really busy for me, and everything is canceled. I mean, up until, I mean, May is getting canceled. June is still questionable. But I had some pretty nice tours. I had a long tour with Jeremy Peltz. I had a long tour in Italy. I had a week with John Faddis. He's like kind of a famous older trumpet player. And a lot of single one-off dates that were all canceled. So I just, yeah, and I even have a new band that I started with some friends that I was writing for. So I was really excited about that because I do so many sideman projects. It's nice to have your own music. Unfortunately, that's canceled too. So.
And how did you take it? How do you feel about all these cancellations? And
Well, I'm disappointed, but I mean, obviously, I understand it's pretty bad, and until they can figure out, I mean, I'm hoping they can figure out some way to, you know, even if it's just if they can find some way to make it even just 10 or 15% better.
yeah,
I think that'll make a huge. If that happens, it's a disaster. I mean, I have a lot of friends in Italy, and I was taught when that Italian tour was canceled. I was talking with him in Italy, and it was frightening. I mean, so I'm certainly thinking about stuff like that. You know, I don't feel invincible by any means myself, and then I'm thinking about my parents, and there's a lot of great older jazz musicians who just died in the last 2 days.
oh really?
Actually, Wallace Roney is not even that old. Yeah, Wallace Roney was not even that old. He's
And he died from
I don't know,
corona?
what is he? Yeah, yeah.
Where,
He's
in the
probably
state or
60, 50. In the States, yeah.
really?
So I mean, you know, the problem in the States, the healthcare system is kind of a mess in the first place. So it's going to make it even worse. In Germany they've seemed to so far be managing everything really
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Hope, you know, knock on wood.
Yeah, we were so close to go to Israel 2 weeks ago because the minute we understood that the schools are going to be shut down, and we had this, okay, we're going to be at home, so maybe to be nearer to the family, weather, I don't know, and we were so close to go there, and last minute we
Yeah.
decided to stay, and we are so thankful that, we decided
You
to.
think? I mean, it's starting to hit bad in Israel now?
It's not hitting bad as much as, it's more, everything is more panicked and more,
Oh,
they're
right.
scaring, and yeah, I think also they are more afraid that I think they have less capacity in the hospitals, a little bit like in Italy, so they can't take
Right.
the risk. I mean, it's all it's a balance of how much, your health system can, I don't know. And in
Right.
Germany,
Right.
they have quite a healthy, stable health system, so they can afford,
Right. Right. Right.
yeah. And in Israel, I think they can't take any risk, so they just shut everything down, and they're like
Right.
frightening people every evening in the news, and the political situation is also super complex now.
Right.
So,
Right. Right. Yeah, I've been following it a bit. It's
yeah,
just
yeah, it's everything together now. I think it's I don't know, people are less.
right. Right. No, it's scary. I mean, I definitely feel it in the States. It's um, you know, reading the news compared to reading the German news is pretty different. Yeah. The intensity of it. It
Yeah,
doesn't feel so close here yet somehow.
yeah,
Even though it's been here longer, although that's questionable also. Yeah, and so I don't know the coronavirus. I mean, and then since being home, you know, the kids are not in school. I have two kids,
how old are
and
they?
they're getting 13 and 10, and they're getting tons of homework. I mean,
Really?
work. Yeah, I
Are they in a
mean,
German school or international school?
the funny they're in this. My wife is Danish, so they're in this Scandinavian German international school, and and especially the older one, his class had already started using these kind of um, online organizational tools. I don't know, like Outlook. Just might they all have Microsoft and stuff they would work on. They would send it to that kind of like a modern workplace in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
So they already had
Today, Teams, maybe the Teams.
Teams,
We started
exactly.
it today. Yeah,
Teams, yeah.
didn't
Yeah,
work.
so he knows how to use all this.
Yeah.
He's like teaching us how to use all this stuff. He knows how to work it all, and they use it all the time. And so then they're just throwing them these assignments, and so we're basically teaching them.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of time. It's enjoyable in a way, but it's the idea of like some of my friends who are, I mean, they're alone. They're sitting at home by themselves, some of them, which is boring. But, they're practicing 14 hours a day and
Yeah.
writing tune. And like
I don't buy that.
yeah, well, there's some aspects of that that I'm a little bit jealous of, but overall, I'm glad. I'm glad that they're still learning stuff, and it's been interesting to work with them, to see what they're working on.
And what about you? Do you manage to practice a little bit and write a little bit, or in all this situation?
Well, it's funny. This grant has been great for me because it's the first couple weeks. I was like, man, everything was canceled. I was when I have things, I'm like working towards them in the back of my mind, and I'm practicing. And then all of a sudden, it's all gone, and I was just like, it was kind of depressing. I didn't know what to do with myself, and I wasn't practicing. And but now, yeah, I mean, you picked something that I think is really difficult, so it makes me want to work. And so it's been good. I've been practicing and writing sketches and thinking about different songs I can work with, and recording, actually practicing recording as well. Getting different mic. I have a fairly limited selection of mics, but I have a few different choices, and every little thing where you are in the room and everything makes a difference in the sound. So trying to get a good recorded sound, and yeah, it's been good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what can you tell a little bit about the project you offered? What we?
Yeah. So it's something I've wanted to work on for years, but there's not always that much opportunity. I'm always working on other projects. Just a solo bass, either a full album or a set worth of material. It's pretty typical in my band that I'll play a solo bass piece or or a long introduction or something. And that's or I'll be asked to do that in other bands quite often. Um, and but I want to just have more, and a wider range of things. I mean, so I'm working on, there's I kind of thinking of three basic formats for solo bass. There's the kind of like a freeform improvisation, which is
Mm-hmm.
what I usually on the bass, you know, uh, trying to get almost like a polyphony with the different voices, even though
Only bass,
it's
like
not
you're playing only
on.
parts.
Yeah, only bass.
Okay.
Yeah, not overdubbed. Just
Okay.
just like I mean, after
Like
I do some of
recording
these things,
different parts of like different parts and then editing it together. That's
no, not overdubbing it
okay.
as one piece, like a live piece of
Okay.
music. Yeah. So like, you know, uh, kind of similar to how like a guitarist would play.
Hmm.
Where they have the chord, they have the bass line, they have the melody, they have
Yeah.
solo parts, and they're alternating. The difference is on guitar, you can have that all in one place.
Uh-huh.
On the bass, you really have to kind of create an illusion
Yeah.
of keeping these different voices moving. So it's almost more similar to like if you listen to classical music, like in Bach, you know, you listen to like the partitas and stuff. It's like you have these different, you have the bass part, you have the middle voices, and they're all moving, and you're trying to, and this one moves a little bit, and then this one moves a little bit, and then sometimes they cross. And so I'm trying to create this web of sound all on the bass, and
Sounds great.
yeah, it sounds like a great idea. It's really hard.
Did you start something? Do you have something?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's something I kind of I work on anyway, but now it's like really like, okay, this is what I'm really working on. It's not just it's something I do as a kind of way to practice. To when someone sends me new music, I have to learn it. It's kind of a technique. It's something I also teach my students. Like, but it's more of an exercise. And with this, now I'm saying, okay, now I want to take this concept, which I kind of do, and then maybe halfway way normally,
Yeah.
and actually make music out of it. You know,
Yeah.
and it's it's a that's a whole nother step, a big step
Good.
difference. Uh, yeah. So that's what I'm working on the most. And then, you know, but I want to also have like maybe play a couple originals, write some original music that kind of works on the bass naturally. Um, that's maybe not so intensively
Do you still collaborate a little bit
intellectual.
with other people, like through the net, like
Well,
Zoom?
I mean, that's the question. I mean, I'll see how much of this I want to do, and then if I feel like I need something else, then I'll, you know, maybe I'll try to do a collaboration with other people. I mean, for this project, I wrote it. I wrote it as basically a solo bass project. Um, but you know, music follows its own
Yeah.
way. So if I feel like it, I want to have something different, I'm sure that'll be okay. Um, you know, as also with like overdubbing, or I have piano at home, and guitar. I play a little bit. I have drums, everything. I play a bit of everything, a bit, so I can always overdub stuff and make a
Yeah.
larger thing. But I don't know. I kind of feel like that's what we see everyone doing now with
Yeah.
YouTube, and I play all the
Yeah.
instruments.
Play live Facebook, and
Eh, yeah, I don't
it's not
know.
really working, right? It's just it's,
No, I mean, I think it can be great. I mean, but I don't know. I'm a bass player. That's what I really do best. I think that's what I that's what I've spent most of my life doing. So why not
do you
take a
also
bit
play
more?
electric bass or only
I play electric, yeah, but rarely. I mean, I don't get asked to play electric so often. I think most people know me as an upright
most of the
player.
things I saw, right, it's like classic hardcore jazz you play. It's not like, or
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I do a lot of different projects. I mean, I play sometimes I get called asked to play like free stuff, which I really like doing. Um, uh, I like just playing with really good musicians.
Yeah.
And I'm not that. After that, I feel like that's already.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, and I'm pretty open-minded. I mean, I grew up playing like straight ahead jazz, bebop. In Baltimore, there was a really good jazz scene, and then I studied a bit with Jackie McLean, and when I first moved to New York, I was kind of on that scene. So I kind of know that really well, I guess. So it's easy for me, and or relatively, nothing's that easy, but it's comfortable for me, and so yeah, I get called for a lot of like straight ahead gigs, but um, I'm also playing with a lot of like ECM artists here in Germany, and yeah, I play with some completely free musicians. So to me, it's just about using your ear and having a good foundation. having good ears and trying to be in the moment.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we're all coming. I guess that's the tradition I came from. But as long as I feel like musicians have some kind of core thing that they can draw from, then I can relate to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, I'm curious to hear some stuff. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. If you wish
Okay.
next time, maybe if you want to, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But just
Yeah. No. I mean, well, I mean, you obviously know good bass players because Omer is burning.
yeah, I know Omer and Hagai. I don't know. You know Hagai? Hagai?
Yeah, sure. A guy's great too.
Yeah, we have also probably know quite a
Yeah,
quite
Israel has a pretty serious bass scene.
yeah jazz
Yeah.
scene in general. Yeah, we have some
Yeah.
good jazz musicians and
Sure.
my wife and Yael studied jazz in New School, New York. So we used to
Oh
live there
wow.
for a while. Yeah,
Oh cool.
back in the day.
And what do you do aside from interviewing?
I'm a theater director. I'm doing theater.
Theater
I
director.
finished a 5 years project that I was working on just a month ago.
Oh wow. Oh
We were
cool.
supposed to start, touring and coming here, and yeah, everything just like.
Oh god.
But I don't know. The minute it happened, I mean, it's so. I think it's almost so. It's too bad that it's almost not bad. It's so the shock is so. I don't know. It's so sharp and I don't know. Just happened at once for everybody. So I feel somehow I don't know. I'm still not even grieving. I'm just just okay.
Well, it's so
I think
sudden,
it
and
didn't start. I think it's now. I feel it's still like yeah. It's everybody are still in shock, and I think maybe it starts a little bit to people start to understand it's not gonna come back at once. It's
well,
gonna
I think yeah, I think that nobody really knows how long this is going to go on. Is
yeah
hard, and maybe, but that also makes it more gradual because at first people are thinking, oh, this is just a temporary, and now people are wondering if it's going to go on. And I don't know. There's so many question marks.
I predict that it's my prediction that in like 6 weeks, something like that, things will start in Germany, at least will start coming, but it will take, it won't like be okay back to what it was. It will, people will start to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic, so I don't know. I mean, I have to say the thing. I mean, I remember after 2008, you know, aside from all the health things, which are, I'm not suggesting we shouldn't be doing what we're doing, but man, after 2008, things were rough. And I
Yeah,
think this is going to be a lot worse than 2008. You know, that's just as far as, in addition to people being sick economically, as artists, we're yeah, it's hard for us sometimes. I mean, ever since 2008 in Europe, even they've cut back on all the funding.
yeah.
And so it's going to be. But we do what we do, and we find a way. So.
Okay, man. Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Nice chatting with you.
Yeah.
We meet again
Likewise.
next week, right?
Sorry.
We meet again next week.
Yes, I'll sign up for the same time. I think it should be fine for every week in the month.
Okay.
It's not like I have anything else to do.
Okay, man.
All
Thank
right.
you for talking to me.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for asking me questions.
Great. Be in touch.
Yeah, likewise. See you soon.
See you soon.